Good evening. I'm Mayor Waits, and welcome to Baker Forward. This evening, I have a pleasure of talking to a gentleman who has been in Baker politics for more than 50 years. I'm excited to have him here this evening. And with us, we have the former Mayor of Baker, Mayor Heine, and he is a councilman right now in his second term. And I wanted to introduce you guys to him tonight. And we're going to talk about some things dear to his heart. So, Mayor Heine, thank you for being here.
Thank you,
and thank you for your service and everything that you've done for the city of Baker. Mayor, tell us, how long have you been in politics, and how long were you the mayor of Baker?
Well, I hate to tell people because they sit there figuring out how old I am. Well, I'm going to start off by telling you I'm 89 in December the 4th. And I was first elected to the city alderman as an alderman in 1956. Now, I was out of office for about 7 years. I wasn't out of office because I was still in local government as parish manager of West Feliciana Parish. Right. But Mayor, I want to thank you for asking me. My heart is Baker. I feel like you do about your children because I've been a part of it since Baker started its growth. So it's just an honor for me, and everywhere I go, I love to talk about the city of Baker. That's the reason why I'm wearing this shirt. I got one suit, just like the mayor got, but I like for people to know where I'm from and who I stand for. And why I'm saying that, and I don't want anybody to take this wrong, but I was treated so bad by Breck at one of their meetings up in Zachary because I had my shirt on. I was there representing Baker. I wasn't there representing Pete Heine. I don't care how you treat me, but I was representing. It was a slam on our whole city when they treated me like they did at Zachary. And then down here, the second thing. But anyway, I don't want to get into all that.
Yeah, but that's why I wanted to bring you out today, because everybody knows that what's going on with the zoo. And I want to be clear. I want the citizens of Baker to understand that we do not need that zoo to leave here. And we know that Mayor Heine was here from the beginning with the zoo. So, Mayor, can you just tell us a little bit why it's important that we keep the zoo, and give us a little quick history on it, if you can, sir?
Mayor, it's just so important, not only to Baker, but to Zachary and North Baton Rouge. See, every time you pick up the paper, they want to spur North Baton Rouge because of the growth, because everything's going south. Well, here we got something good going, and they're going to take it away from us. So that's what really upset me. And one of those guys at this meeting that they had when the commission met, he said, I see how passionate you are. Well, I am. I'm passionate about that zoo because for one thing, it's going to hurt our economic development, no question about it, not only in Baker and Zachary, but in North Baton Rouge too. And then it puts a thought in people's mind, well, why are they taking it out of Baker? What's wrong with Baker? Well, they're putting down on our city. That's a mental, that's a head thing with people. And then too, I hope that everybody's watching. They've got a video out that I did for 7 minutes. And it was from my heart. It wasn't me speaking. It was God speaking through me, because I wasn't smart enough to do what I did in that 7-minute video. And it told my story. In fact, I had the state representative, you know him well, he represents part of West Baton Rouge and over here. He came up to me at that Breck meeting, and he said, I saw that video. And he said, man, he said, you told them just like it was. Well, see, here's that unlevel playing field that we've been on. Right. Breck, at the commission meeting, showed only a part of that video. Right. They didn't want to see the rest of it. They didn't want anybody to see it, because I told them how that zoo started, how it got there, who did it, and what it's meant to our community. And Breck has let it go down, down, down. And they don't advertise where it is, but you don't have to be a genius to see. They want the zoo down in South Baton Rouge somewhere. Right. But listen, they just won a battle. They didn't win the war, because I'm telling you, these eyes and this mayor's eyes going to be with everything that commission does now when they select a site for it. because they're going to have one heck of a time finding the land that they need that doesn't flood. They're going to get some developer who owns the land. He going to give it to them. But let me tell you, you watch them. I'm going to be watching to see whose land they put that on.
Yeah. So tell us, we got just a few minutes left.
Right.
Tell us about how the zoo, who built that zoo real quick.
Excuse me, Mayor. It was the people of Baker, Zachary, and Scotlandville that built that zoo. That property, Woody Dumas, my good friend, and I, we were both mayors at the same time, went to Washington because after the war was over, see, a lot of people don't know that the Metro Airport was Harding Field. It was an Army air base, and they flew airplanes out. They flew not jet because it wasn't even on the scene, but they flew fighter planes out of there, training me. And they had an ammunition dump, was on that 640 acres or whatever it is, that belonged to the federal government. That's where they stored the ammunition. Well, when the war ended, the federal government had no use for the property. Woody Dumas, who had a lot of connections and knew a lot of people, and we all tagged along together, and we went up there and we convinced the federal government to donate that property to East Baton Rouge Parish for recreational purposes. Then Gene Young comes along and he sees the value of it. People of Baton Rouge, Buckskin Bill, and I just saw in the paper this morning that he had a birthday. Happy birthday, Buckskin. You're a great man, and you did a lot of wonderful things. And he did, and he started saying Baton Rouge needs a zoo. Yeah, and the people rallied behind him. And then when it really got hot, they said Baton Rouge needs a zoo, but we don't want it in our neighborhood. So they gave it to Baker because Woody and I and others were promoting that that's where it should be.
So that's how we got the zoo, man.
That's how you got it.
It was donated. So now the zoo was donated to the north part of the parish. Now they're trying to take it back.
Take it away.
Well, Mayor, I just want to thank you for coming
let me say one other thing right quick.
Right.
See, being a politician as long as I have,
right.
I know the promises you make when you're running for office.
Right.
These wonderful things that Breck says now that they're going to do if they move the zoo out, that's a promise. That zoo is real. It's there already. It's been there. And promises are one thing.
All right. Well, thank you for coming out.
Okay, thank you, man. I'm sorry.
Thank you for coming out.
I get passionate. I can't stop talking.
Yeah, I know. But thank you for coming out and talking about the zoo. And remember, if you're watching this, we want that zoo to stay in Baker. It belongs in the northern part of this parish. And go out, call the commissioners and let them know that we want that zoo to stay. Well, we got to go pay some bills. And we'll be right back with the fire chief of Baker. Thank you. Welcome back. I'm Mayor Waits, and with me at this time I have our brand new fire chief, a gentleman that I've worked with over the last 3 or 4 years. I've grown to respect him as a leader. He lives in Baker. He plays in Baker. He's just a good man, and I want to introduce you guys to him. I want to give him an opportunity to come out and tell you a little bit about what his plans are and what's his goals for our fire department. Chief Hunt, it's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right. And congratulations.
Thank you.
On that wonderful job there, huh? So that's good.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from and where you want to go, with the fire department.
I pretty much was raised here in Baker. My parents moved here in 1976. I went to Baker, started with the fire department in 1994, went from the ranks of firefighter up to operator to captain, district chief, and now chief.
I am chief.
And my main concern right now with this fire department is getting these guys back in the station. We've been out of our station now for a little over a year. And we have a trailer that we're in, but it's not home. That fire station is home. You guys like to live in there. We respond to our calls from there, and it's just that's where I want to get us back to.
Want to get us back to, yeah. Well, yeah, I know it's been a long road back, and we're almost about to get there. So, on your first day on the job, what was the expectations that when you talked to your fireman when you had a chance to talk to him?
The guys were happy, and I think we joked for about 2 or 3 days. It wasn't really I think it was in a dream, but the guys got with me. They said, Chief, anything you need us to do, we're behind you. We'll always be behind you. And I love the guys that I work with. I've been with most of them a long time. We've got a lot of new guys, good new young guys that really want to put in work and do their jobs.
Okay. What do you want to take the fire department? What do you want to take it to? What level you want to take it to, and what kind of plans you have to do that?
I would like to expand us, add some more people. We need some new equipment. Our equipment is getting aged. Try to see if we can get new fire trucks. We did get a new rescue truck last year, but it's time to probably change out our pumpers. More manpower, more trucks. Newer trucks.
Yeah, he's a chief. He already a chief because they like stuff. I know. Amir told me, Amir that had been around for a while says that the public service part of your budget is about 50 to 60% of that, and you've already learned. You've learned it. So
yes.
Yeah, I picked a good one here, and I really appreciate it. I know that you're going to do a good job. For the city of Baker,
yes.
And I know that you've been around here for a while, and go on. But if you want just one thing to if you want to just leave with the community, with the people of Baker, about your fire department, just say a few things to them to leave it with them. Tell them what kind of service they can expect under your leadership.
The Baker Fire Department has always helped the people of this city. We're a phone call away. If you need help with someone getting up off the floor, you can't reach something in your house or anything of that nature, you call our phone number. We're there all the time. We're day and night, 24 hours a day. 24
hours a day. Just real quick, we talk about expanding. Is there any possibility of expanding across the tracks?
That was looked at years ago. We looked at some property over there. At one time during Katrina, we had a temporary station over there. Station 23 was right across from the Renaissance Village. Hoping that we can do that again one day, get us a permanent station over there for the residents on that side of the track. Since that railroad track has now become back in service, it's a possibility that we may need a truck over there if a train stops and can't get moving. We may have to have a station over there.
Okay, that's a good deal. So now, we talked a little bit about, me and you before the show, about that pink fire truck. Tell us a little bit about that real quick.
The pink fire truck is a 1971 American LaFrance. It was taken out of commission in 2006, was parked in a field in the trees in the back of the Baker Cemetery. 6, 7 years later, we put a battery in it and cranked it up and it started. We got Angola to donate the time, and we got the paint and the materials, and they painted it pink for us, and we're going to use it for women's cancer once we get it all put back together.
Okay, do you have a date, time that you guys are planning to do that?
We're probably about 6 months out on getting the truck back totally together where it's roadworthy and ready to go.
Okay, so when we get the fire station back, are we going to have a big ribbon cut?
Big ribbon cut.
You guys going to cook some jambalaya for us?
Oh, yes, we're going to eat good.
Jambalaya and rice. So, well, Chief, I tell you, I'm really, really excited about being able to work with you.
Yes, sir. Same here.
I really think that that was probably one of the best decisions that I ever could have made, but to have you this. And you're born and raised in Baker, and we always talk about that with Baker Strong all the way. So I know you're going to do a good job, and I just want to thank you again for accepting that position.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And whatever you need, just let me know.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to go pay some bills here in a minute, but if you have any questions that you want to ask Chief Hunt, just give him a call. He's that kind of person. Or come by the fire department and just let those guys know what's going on. And you guys know that today is Patriot Day. This is 9/11, the anniversary of 9/11, and we just came from a big luncheon where we celebrated and we remembered our first responders, and we celebrated our first responders. We wanted them to know how much we cared about them, how much we loved them. We wanted them to know that while they were here with us, and we wanted them to get the roses while they were here, get the flowers while they were here. So remember those guys who sacrificed their lives for us during that tragic day. But when you see our police and fire today, go ahead and give them a hug, shake their hand, Give them a pat on the back and let them know how much you care about them. So we'll be right back in a minute. Got to pay a few bills here. We'll be back and we'll talk a little bit about the Buffalo Festival and everything that's coming up. Baker Strong. Welcome back. I'm Mayor Wakes. For 25 years, the city of Baker have been putting on the Buffalo Festival. 25 years. And I've got the story of how it started. It all got started to support the school system some 25 years ago. And we've been doing this festival since that time. So on the September the 22nd, 23rd, we're going to do it again. But this time we're going to go and we're going to do it really, really big. The one last year was really good. It was right after the flood. We still had people in the shelters, and it was very, very emotional while we were doing it. But we had a good time. We had over 300 people. Our goal this year is to have over 1,000 people in that park as we go into our 25th annual Buffalo Festival. We were able to give the schools system of Baker last year over $7,500, which I know they use for books and different things that they use. And our goal this year is to give them upwards to $15,000 for our school system. But we have to take care of our kids. We are our brother's keepers. And the relationship between the city and the school should be tight, and we're very, very tight. And that's due to the leadership of Dr. Bristol. He's a good man. And we're working closely to make sure that we build our schools up and give our kids an opportunity to excel like they do already. The Buffalo Festival, like I said before, is going to be on September 22nd and 23rd. We're going to have a lot of live entertainment, In Tune, One More Time, Euphoria, Total Control. Those are some good bands that we're going to have. We're going to have a Wayne cook-off, a talent show. We're going to have the running of the Buffaloes, which is going to be this weekend, September the 16th. It's going to start at 7 o'clock over at the Greenwood Park. I ask you to bring somebody with you. If you want to walk with the mayor, come walk with the mayor. I'm not going to run, but I'm going to walk. And we can walk those 3 miles, those 3.5 miles, and we can talk. So get your family out to Greenwood Park. It's going to be a great thing. I'm going to see, can I get my buddy and my mentor, former Mayor Heine, to come walk with me that morning, and you'll get some stories. You'll really get some stories if we do that. So that's going to be on September 16th. Opening night, Friday night, it's going to be lots of music and lots of family fun. We're going to have bands there. We're going to have food there. All kind of vendors are going to be there. And then on Saturday morning, the 23rd, is our annual, the Baker Buffalo Festival Parade, which is going to start at Advantage Charter. See, this time we're going to come down Groom Road because that's where everybody lives. Everybody lives down Groom Road. And what we're saying is that Groom Road was flooded. And we're coming down that road, and we're going to raise, and we're going to make some noise, and we're going to throw a lot of cannon, a lot of bees. It's going to be a big parade, and that's going to start at 10 o'clock. Lineup is going to be at 9 o'clock. So if you want to be a part of the parade and get your vehicles in the parade or floats or whatever, go ahead and give Diane Clay a call at 778-0300. And all this information that I'm talking about is on our updated website. And you know we're always on Facebook and on Twitter. So the parade starts at 10 o'clock. We're going to come back. We're going to start our ceremonies, and the band begins, and we're going to go today. Now, we're going to have some different things going on here. We're going to have laser tag, a hamster ball, rock climbing, curbside video gaming. We're going to have a big car show this year. We already have about 35 entries into our car show, and we're just going to have a good time. So if you want to be involved, if you want to volunteer, get in touch with Diane Clay like we talked about before at 778-0300. Now this is a very, very special Buffalo Festival because those of you that don't know that the Baker High School Band was selected to perform at Carnegie Hall in New York City. And you know those kids we don't have the money right now. So everything that we have, I want to give the school board a check for them, and I want to be able to give the school board a check for the band. So come out and support our city. Come out and support our kids. Let's show this parish that Baker is together, that we're united. See, we're always stronger when we're together. Things are starting to come around in this city. The people are starting to understand that, you know, we're stronger when we're together. And this is not just about Darney or Waste. This is about us working together as a team as we start to clean this city up and create a great quality of life and a great quality of place. And we realize that there's probably about 25 people in this city that try to divide us. But because we are children of God, we need to understand that it's God's will that this city to move forward. And Baker is moving forward. And that's why this show is so important. And if you hadn't noticed that Baker does not have a newspaper, but we created our own newsletter, and we call that Baker Forward. And we do our own distribution of this newsletter. We try to put the best information in it as possible to show people and give them and let them know what's going on in our city. So today, I want you to think about what we talked about. I want you to think about where we are as a city. I want you to think about this is a defining moment for us to move this city forward. But most of all, we want to move this city forward together. And as we do that, we can leave something for our kids. We can leave something for their kids. This city has been great for over 60 years. It can still be great. We can still live together. We can pray together, and we can do great things together. So let's get out and support each other. Let's get out and support our neighbors. Make sure you talk to your neighbors. Come out of your house and talk to your neighbors. Know who your neighbors are. They may be white, they may be black, they may be old, they may be young, but that's what makes Baker great, because we're so inclusive. We are integrated here. We do live among each other, and that's what makes us so great. It's a safe city. It's a city where I raise my kids and my son, and he's raising his kids here, and I just love this city from the day that I walked into it. So we have to get out, and we need to support. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. It's easy to complain about a lot of stuff, but unless you're volunteering and you want to come help out, stop complaining. And don't let those naysayers tell you that we're at the cliff. We are moving forward it's not a fast rate, but it's at a slow rate. And that just shows us that God is with us. So if you believe right now that the will of God is in our lives, you keep praying, and we'll keep working to move Baker forward. I want to thank you guys for always supporting everything that we do as an administration. I want to thank my council for always being there for us. I want to thank all the mentors and the people. And I want to thank this channel, Dr. Fry, for allowing us to do this show to get the word out. Don't forget about the Buffalo Festival. Be there, support, have a good time, and don't forget to wear that red and black every Friday. Wear that red and black and let everybody know where you're from. Thank you, and I'm going to get out of here tonight, but another Baker Forward is away. We'll be back next time with some more information. Have a great week, have a great month, and remember, we're Baker strong. We're the Buffaloes. Have a good night.